In our younger days, we built and sailed trimarans. When we got married, we dreamed of sailing the world.
As we look forward to retirement, our dream is becoming real. We chose a Seawind catamaran, or maybe she chose us.
And after a lifetime of dreams, our boat finally arrived. We are shaking her out in the Chesapeake Bay and along the mid-Atlantic coast.
We christened her Moments in Time, reminding us to cherish each moment. The sea is calling. Come share the dream.
The Great Delmarva Circumference. It is a great trip. You get to travel the entire length of the Chesapeake Bay. It includes an offshore coastal passage, usually overnight in the mid-Atlantic. You get to travel the entire length of the Delaware Bay. You get to traverse the Chesapeake and Delaware Canal. And you get to experience all the people and all the water lifestyles along the way. Join us on our second leg of the journey from Reedville, Virginia to Kiptopeke State Park, Virginia. We awoke the next morning and donned our headsets. Tony was on the bow on crab pot watch. I was trying to navigate around them according to her directions. Tuesday morning, it's raining, a little bit chilly. We're leaving Cockerel Creek, Reedville, weaving our way through all the crab pots. I don't know if the camera will pull up. And some old ruins here. This was a fish factory town built on seafood. I think they made a lot of fertilizer out of fish here. I remember back in the 70s they were quite booming. This is the Morris Fisher Stack, built around 1902. The 130-foot stack stands tall as a navigation aid, a welcome to all that ply these waters and an ending tribute to working watermen past and present. Behind me, you can probably see the Reedville fishing fleet, and you can smell them too. The story of Reedville, Virginia is linked to the commercial fishing industry that developed here in the late 19th century. The fishing industry flourished in Reedville, especially in the early part of the 20th century. Today, Reedville is one of the major ports for landing of commercial fish in the United States, second only to Kodiak, Alaska. Due to the industrial processing of the fish, Reedville can be very aromatic at times. The pelicans love Reedville. I wonder why.
The birds, Alfred, the bird.
We just spoke to the Prout boat, Prout catamaran over there. We're both headed south. Once we get out of this shallow water, I'm hoping for these chop to lay down a little bit, and I might put a couple reefs in. We'll see. Shallow water, winds against the tide, always makes for a fun ride. How you feeling, Tony?
A little shaky this morning. I was making coffee and I had to come up to the cockpit for a bit.
We're getting the hell pounded out of us. We're trying to make it out of the shallow water here, and hopefully this chop will lay down.
So up here though, the air really helps. So
anyway, back to hell. Yeah, sometimes I wish we had an extra hand, somebody to film everything that we're trying to get done. She was quite rough. We put 2 reefs in. Of course, the reef line for some magical reason gets tangled up. So I'm pounding through a 4-foot chop on top of the coach roof, untangling everything. I don't know what the tangle monkeys do while we sleep, but whatever they do a good job. But we got 2 reefs in, we got the full jib, and we're sailing along at about 5.5 knots. And we're going to judge the waves and the wind, and we might shake a reef out. Just depends, but she was quite rough. Not too many boats out here today. We did talk to Shady, like I mentioned earlier, a proud 39 catamaran, 25 years old. So it's kind of fun. So I'm gonna ask Tony how she's doing. No, I'm not. That should answer the question right there. There's a chum line behind the boat. We all get sick, but it's much better now. We're in deep water, and we got the sails up to help stabilize. So things should go well. How you doing, Admiral? Admiral.
Eating a plain bagel, and Peter made me a cup of tea. I do my coffee.
Feeling better?
Maybe.
Being skipper is hard. But she's gonna make me crab cakes tonight, right?
I am.
Right?
I hope so. If I can eat crab.
It is clearing up. I can see sunshine, well, clearer skies on the horizon. Let me get out of the wind. Making pretty good speed, 2 reefs in. We got in deeper water, stabilized the boat with the sails, and it's turning out to be a nice sail. Not raining too much anymore. It's kind of dreary out, but I think we'll make our destination easily, I hope, without too much motoring. So that's the update on Moments in Time at 10 a.m. Tuesday morning.
Go away.
What?
Go away.
I can't hear you.
You don't have to film every single second.
But I do. We're just continuing down south. We haven't changed course since we raised the sail, so going pretty good. But I think when we get down to closer to that shipping channel, we're going to tack across at a 90 degree and then continue down to our destination, hopefully. Wolf Trap Lighthouse, just north of Mobjack Bay and the York River. We're making progress. Kind of messy in here, messier than I like, but I got my chart books here. I got my binoculars here, another sweatshirt, or headsets, and Tony's dirty teacup. The fishing fleet from Reedville on the move again. They use a spotter plane, or at least I see a spotter plane flying over. Must found better fishing grounds. Of course, we were right in the middle of the fleet, but no worries. These guys are professionals. Mighty comfortable here, but we both can't be sleeping at the same time. Here you can see the 2 boats off the stern. They lowered these to run the nets. They're fishing primarily for the Atlantic Menhaden. Look at our house batteries. We got the electronics on, we got the auto helm on. That's all coming from solar. Look at that, and I haven't even seen sunshine. We used 15% of our water in 2 days. That's not good. These Yanmar engines, man, they only sip that diesel fuel. We have about 5-6 hours of motoring since we left. And we weren't quite 100% when we left. I think we were about 98, 97. And that's where we're at. Of course, it's kind of rough and they're bouncing up and down, but this is my nav desk. One of the reasons we got a 1260 was having nav desk up top. Here's my view. The wind is kind of dying and swinging around to the south, so I shook the 2 reefs out. We're under full sail. We're going back up over 5 knots. But because the wind change swung around to the south, I'm going to have to at least tack at least once, maybe twice, to get to our destination. At this point, we're hoping to be there by 5. We'll see. Clouds to the south of me look very ominous. It looks like they're full of rain. How you feeling? Feeling better? Have a nice nap?
I did have a good nap, and we had lunch, so we ate a turkey sandwich, so hopefully that settles, and I ate an apple. So feeling a little better, but I get queasy if I go down below. But it's not bad right now. It's just, I think, leftover from feeling so bad earlier.
The wind is not doing very much. She had calmed down. I'm lucky to break 4 knots. The wind is blowing at 7 knots. So at some point, we're going to have to head east, maybe fire up the motors, because it's getting to be, it's 2 o'clock. And I like to be at the anchorage in another 3 hours, so that's about our limit. The wind is supposed to pick up, but it's not supposed to pick up till 5, and it's going to come more easterly. Right now, as we all know, the wind's coming from the exact direction we want to go. So we'll see. The fleet of the empty cargo ships waiting for cargo at the mouth of the bay. Oh, we got the motors on. Man, I hate motoring. But, you know, we need to try to find our anchorage. I like to get there by 5, but if we make it by 6, I'll be happy. Tony is scrutinizing the charts. What'd you find out? Did you find a shortcut?
There's
a time bubble? A time warp?
Nope, there's no shortcuts.
We gonna make it?
We'll make it. Just depends on what time. Peter's actually motoring.
I hate motoring. We did make it to Kiptopeke, Virginia, and the concrete breakwater ships. These ships act like a breakwater for waves coming from the west. As you can see behind me, those are the concrete derelict ships. We've actually anchored here before in a C-Wind 1160 called Shared Adventures, Daniel's boat, about a year ago actually. We're at the mouth of the bay. The Atlantic Ocean is that away, less than a mile. And this is where we dropped the anchor, and we're going to monitor a weather window, which is progressively getting worse, to see if we're going to go back up on the Atlantic side or back up on the bay side. The winds look like they're going to be gusting up to 25 to 28 knots. That's going to put up a bunch of swells, and I don't know if we want to do that. But we'll see. We'll monitor the weather window tonight. We'll monitor it again in the morning. Either way, it's going to be an overnight sail, and go from there. This is not a bad anchorage. It's about 7 miles north of the northern cut of the Bay Bridge Tunnel to get out into the Atlantic. The bottom is very sandy and holds very well. And it's kind of quiet. It's a quiet anchorage. It has the smell of the ocean. This is Kiptopeke State Park on the northern edge of Virginia's eastern shore. It was a peaceful and quiet anchorage for the night. We enjoyed it here. If the weather's right and the waves are right, check this anchorage out. It's kind of a fun anchorage. And if you have a dinghy, you have a beautiful beach to walk on. A dreary day. Yesterday was kind of dreary, had a little bit of sunshine. Today, sun tried to break up, but no, kind of dreary. We're going to see a weather pattern move in tonight. And then I don't know if we're going to see sunshine this entire trip. We'll see.
What you cooking, Peter?
Check it out and see.
Ooh, steak and cake.
Those steaks need to come off.
You want to take them off now?
Yes. Why don't you explain the wine while I take the steaks off? Okay.
So we are having, I'll turn it so you can see it. Williamsburg we're having a Malbec Cabernet Sauvignon blend. And it is from Sur de los Andes. We got this at Nick's in Prince Frederick. It's a great place to go. It said it had 91 points, so I thought it might be good. We haven't had it before. Should be good with the steaks.
We always eat good on Moments in Time. Or at least we only film when we eat good, when we eat on Moments in Time. We don't film the PBJs.
Yeah.
Moments in Time. We have steak, cake, asparagus, and a nice bottle of wine. Nothing beats better than this meal.
No.
Let's eat.
So Tuesday was not my favorite day on the boat, as you can see. I did get seasick coming out of Reedville in the morning, and you know, it's nothing worse than someone sticking a camera in your face when you're looking green and you're feeling really bad. So when Peter finally does get seasick one day, I'm sticking the camera in his face. But I did get better as the day went on. I did take a nap. Peter made it sound like I was sleeping all day. I did not. It was maybe an hour and a half maybe. It does help when you sleep. It helps to stay out in the air. And I did start feeling better later in the day. So we did end up with a nice day at the end, a nice evening. We had a good dinner, and that was the only day I felt like that. The rest of the time, even out on the ocean, I did really well. So that's not saying too bad. But yeah, we had it was a rough trip that morning.
No sunset, just light pollution from Norfolk and Hampton roads. Day 2 complete. Tomorrow's offshore passage will all depend on the weather forecast.